Okay, we've all been there, right? Staring at your phone, just waiting. 5 minutes feels kind of long. 10 is an eternity. But 40 minutes? 40 minutes is a full-blown relationship test. So let's dive into the art of the apology, because knowing how to say sorry the right way, well, it can save you when you're the one who messed up.
It's a classic showdown, isn't it? The person running late is all stressed out, trying to come up with a good reason. And the person waiting is getting more and more frustrated, feeling totally disrespected. Both sides feel like they're having the worst time. But the bridge between those two feelings? It's the apology. And how you deliver it changes absolutely everything.
Meet Jane. She's been waiting for Mark for 40 minutes. And she is not happy. This one sentence is just loaded with frustration. It's not really a question, it's an accusation. And whatever Mark says next is going to make or break this entire moment.
And here it comes, Mark's big defense. I like to call this the excuse stack. First, the skateboard broke. Okay, you know what? That's plausible. Then he had to walk. That makes sense. But then he lost his helmet, and on top of all that, his phone was dead, so he couldn't even call. Do you see how the excuses just pile up? One excuse might be okay, but a whole stack of them starts to feel less like a reason and more like a desperate scramble to avoid getting blamed.
And this brings us to the most important point. A bad apology, like Mark's first try, is all about me. My broken skateboard, my dead phone, my terrible luck, it completely ignores how the other person is feeling. But a smart apology, it flips the script. It focuses on you. It starts by acknowledging their frustration. I'm sorry I kept you waiting, it takes responsibility, and it promises to fix things for the future.
So how do we actually build that smart apology? Well, it's not as complicated as you might think. In fact, it pretty much boils down to 3 simple, really powerful phrases that can totally change the vibe of a conflict. Let's break them down. It all starts right here. Just a simple, direct, I'm sorry. This isn't sorry but, and it's not sorry if you felt, it's just a clean human admission. It immediately tells the other person that you're not here to argue or defend yourself. You're there because you know you made a mistake.
Now, this one is super important because it's all about your intention. Most of the time, right, we don't plan on hurting the people we care about. Saying, I didn't mean to keep you waiting, or I didn't mean for that to happen, separates what you did from what you intended. It helps the other person understand that even though the result was bad, you weren't being malicious.
And this is the closer. This phrase is all about the future. It's a promise. You're telling the other person that you've actually learned from this mistake and that you value the relationship enough to commit to changing your behavior. This is how you really start to rebuild that trust. All right, theory is great and all, but let's see how this actually works out in the wild. We're going to do a little apology speed run through some common and, let's be honest, very awkward situations. Let's see how our power phrases hold up when the pressure's on.
Okay, first up, you hear that horrible crunching sound. You just broke your friend's camera. They are furious, holding the pieces. What do you say?
You have to lead with the apology. I'm so sorry. Then you explain what happened, not as an excuse, but just as a fact. I didn't know your camera was there. This is so much better than saying, well, it was in a stupid place, right? This way, you take ownership without trying to shift the blame.
Oof, this one's tough. It's not just a mistake, it's a pattern. You've crashed their bike before, and you've gone and done it again. The look on their face says everything. The trust is getting seriously thin.
For this one, you have to acknowledge the history. I'm really sorry this happened again. That one word shows you get why they're extra upset. And then that promise for the future becomes even more important. I promise to be more careful. You have to show them you're taking this seriously.
Next up, something is just gone. You borrowed their favorite, maybe even a rare DVD, and now you can't find it anywhere. It's just vanished. Honesty right up front. I'm afraid I've lost it. Then you share how you feel, which builds empathy. And I feel terrible. But the crucial part is you move right to the repair stage. I will replace it for you. You created the problem, so you own the solution. Simple as that. Okay, last one. You borrowed their phone for what was supposed to be a quick call, and you accidentally burned through all their data or prepaid minutes for the whole month. They look super stressed and pretty annoyed.
This response is just perfect. It hits all 3 points. You start with the apology. I'm so sorry. Then the intention. I didn't mean to use so many. And finally, the offer to fix it. I'll cover any extra charges. It's clean, it's responsible, and it solves the immediate problem you created.
So after that little speed run, you can probably see the pattern, right? These aren't just magic words that you say. They're actually part of a logical formula that gets to the core emotional needs of a conflict. And here it is, the whole formula. First, you acknowledge the other person's feelings and the mistake you made. Second, you take responsibility for your role in it. And third, you offer or promise to repair the situation. Acknowledgement, responsibility, repair. That's it. That's the foundation of any strong apology.
And here's why this is so important. It might feel like apologizing makes you look weak, but it's actually the exact opposite. When you give a real, genuine apology, you're being honest and vulnerable. And that builds trust. It's kind of weird, but screwing up and then handling it well can actually make a relationship stronger than if the mistake never even happened.
So as we wrap this up, let's have a little fun with the flip side. We've all made a bad excuse at some point. What is the wildest, most unbelievable, or just plain weirdest excuse you've ever used or heard? Drop it in the comments. I think we could all use a good laugh. Thanks for hanging out.